Hello everyone! Welcome back to this game! When we last left off, the evil Smithy crashed down into Bowser's castle. With the help of Mario's debug mushroom and the Legion of Toads, Mario has escaped the beginning of the game. However, he is still at level 1, so he's going to need some help. Hello Bowser! I'm gonna go ahead and add you to my team. Okay, Bowser joins the group. Would you like an explanation on how to switch allies? As a matter of fact, I would. So, I would like to point out that normally at this point in the game, first off, we have more than 2 party members already, hence why Toad is saying that we are now 4. More importantly, this menu would be bigger by now. Normally at this point we would have the map and star piece options. So what happens if none of this is the case? Access switch. Now, that status. These 3 will fight while their pals rest. Simply choose the 2 you wish to switch, and this is going automatically. Trying to switch party members that aren't there. Mario must always fight, though. That was fun. So, for the moment, let's go ahead and head to Moleville. And I'm going to do the trading quest with my 999 coins and get the shiny stone. What I did not expect was, since we haven't actually gone through that quest yet and rescued the kids, we can't actually get the fireworks. Okay, while I could go through the mines and rescue the kid... I just got interrupted by Bowser. While I have Bowser on my team. As I was saying, while I could go through the mines and rescue the kids in order to unlock the ability to buy fireworks, it occurs to me I don't have to. I have an idea. So yeah, even though I have unlocked the entire world map, each location in the game is assuming that I have not visited yet. In fact, out of curiosity, what happens if I go to Tadpole Pond? Not Tadpole Pond, Midas River. Well, nothing of interest offhand. Try your luck again. Yeah, sure. Again. High score of 0 points. I guess there isn't anything of interest here. I'll just probably edit this out. Or... he could give me the knock-knock shell now instead of when I finish the track. Alright, I'll take it, I guess. Okay, here we are back at the debug mushroom, and something has occurred to me. You know how various options wound up crashing the game? Well, it occurs to me that while having this magic mushroom option turned on, trying to go various places besides this also crashed the game on occasion. So it occurs to me that all I have to do, perhaps in order to get the options to work properly, is to turn this off and then select the options. So these two already work. This was the Donut Bridge. This was to the cliff at Land's End. Let's go ahead and save state and... okay, this one was crashing into the house at Moleville. This was supposed to take me to Tadpole Pond, but it crashed whenever I chose it with the cheat on. But now with the cheat off, it actually works properly and sends us to the start of the Midas River. Meanwhile, we have this option, which takes us to Booster Hill. Now it is not taking us to a void with Shy Guys on pogo sticks. Instead, we have the chase sequence with Booster and Toadstool. And say it again, this option takes us to another page where this option takes us to Booster Hill while it is empty. And while we're here, I noticed something interesting. We're going to go ahead and run up the hill. And at this point, we have reached a point where no more barrels are coming down. However, there's just a flower laying in the middle of the track. And then another one. When I came here during the adventure, there were not flowers in the middle of the track. This place was just completely empty. So I'm not entirely sure what triggers the flowers, but I don't need the flowers. I'm already at max. And then the last option is if we go here without the beetle box. Alright then. Okay, I chose next expecting to exit the menu there, but that actually started the beetle race when I don't have the Beetles Are Us box to collect beetles? Okay, I need to see how this plays out. $10 beetles! That is now a record. Oh, do I keep that entire attempt on camera? I don't know if I have time to leave that in. But I got 5 female, 5 male. I missed the 1 gold. Okay, just to confirm, if I go to special item, I don't have the beetle box, right? I suddenly had the beetle box. Well, I can't turn them in because Seaside Town is currently being occupied by Smithy, so well, that's interesting at least. Alright, back at the debug mushroom. All of the options that take you to the opening sequence are the same, even with this fix. More importantly, the reason why I wanted to come here in the first place is to choose this option. Which option? I forget. This option. So this option places me at Moville after the rescue is done. And now I can buy the fireworks and do the trading quest to get the shiny stone. And while I'm here, I think I'll also go ahead and buy some armor for Mario. And by the way, you remember how before when I warped to the trading post and left Moville, it brought me to an empty world map where I had to select the middle of nowhere, and that left me in an empty void? Well, with the cheat turned off, it functions properly. I mean, the locations are still empty, but choosing an empty location just brings me back into Moville. That's kind of boring. Okay, so here we are getting ready to tell the Chancellor about how Toadstool was kidnapped by Bowser. We're gonna tell the story of how Bowser was kidnapped by Bowser. That might explain why there was a second Bowser at Moville. Okay, so instead we're telling about how we're rescuing Bowser from Bowser, but Bowser was abducted by aliens. Okay, I have no idea why that cutscene is showing Bowser instead of Toadstool. But okay. And at this point, I just witnessed Croco stealing Mallow's coin. Don't worry, Mallow, we'll get your coin back. And in fact, Mallow's gonna tag along. He's not actually on the team, but the cutscene don't know that. But while we're here, I think it is time to go back into the debug menu. I kind of want to show off some of the other options. So let me choose some music that will be good for explanation type music. Okay, we'll go with this song. Kind of funny that we can actually just battle with this music. I'm definitely going to have some fun with that later on. Anyway, let's go over the rest of these options, shall we? Let us start with Object. This option here changes the music back to normal. Well, so much for that. But this is a sprite viewer. We can basically look over all the different sprites. There's also a sequence option where we press the shoulder buttons in order to change between different frames. Mario, your arms seem kind of broke. Anyway, I'm not going to show off all the sprites, but I made a list of sprites that I kind of want to bring attention to. For example, sprite number 6, and this sequence number 2. We have Mario's sprite whenever he is riding Yoshi, proving that whenever you're riding Yoshi, we're using a cutout of Mario to make it look like he's behind Yoshi's head. Although, as I've already demonstrated before, they didn't quite cut out enough, and it looks like Mario's eyes are in front of Yoshi's eyes. Here we have Toadstool sprites, and a particular interest is this one right here. This is a sprite that goes largely unused. Maybe that's the sprite that is used whenever Toadstool loses her stuff at Marrymore, but it doesn't animate like this, certainly doesn't have her eye open. I like to imagine she's opening her eye like, is there anybody watching me cry? And here we have Geno freaked out. Now, there's plenty of instances in the game where our main characters get freaked out, but if I recall, Geno is the only one that never does, so this is another sprite that gets unused. And then starting with 1F, we have weapon animations. So if you wanted to see these weapon animations without the characters holding them, now you can see them. There's nothing necessarily special about this sprite. I just kind of like watching Croco wag his tail. And here is an unused sprite of Yoshi eating something while facing the team. Normally he faces away from the team. Hello, Tudovsky. You also have an unused sprite, but I kind of want to focus on this sprite that does get used, because when I was first playing this game, I thought that this part here and this part here were his hands, like he was like doing jazz hands. But then it took me a while, but I finally realized that his hands are right here. Now, as for an unused sprite, that would be this right here. He actually has an animation for conducting an orchestra. Normally, this is the animation that is used for doing that. So this is something that I didn't notice initially, until somebody pointed it out, but right here, we have Gino's doll at the end of the game after Gino unpossesses it. Meanwhile, here we have Gino's doll whenever Gaz has it. A little glitchy, because I'm choosing an animation later in the sequence. But, there is a size difference here. Apparently, when Gino left the doll as a gift to Gaz, he left Gaz a bigger doll. Wiggler head. Wiggler legs. There are 2 legs. Right here we have the minecart from the minecart minigame. I thought it would be interesting to look at this without Mario's sprite sitting in it. And there's Mario's sprite. Why it's glitchy, not sure. I found Smithy's hammer. There's Smithy's face. It's hammer time. Hi, Gaz. You really should have been in the ending. And, this right here isn't necessarily an unused sprite. Rather, this is a placeholder sprite. And in fact, this sprite is in other locations as well, used as a placeholder. Micro Toad. I'm not entirely sure what this sprite was intended to be used for. There are instances where Toad appears to instruct us in a minigame while we have Micro Mario, but he's normal size during that.
Oh, banana.
And there's also an urchin from Super Mario World, so that's 2 more unused sprites. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be looking at here. I mean, they appear to be googly eyes, but, I have no idea what this was intended to be used for. Okay, so I'm in the portion of the sprites that are used during the ending of the game. I don't know where the bomb is, but there are the moles that carry the bomb along with the bomb's fuse. And here's Dinah and Might, who are hiding behind the bomb. So now we get to see how they pop in and out of the bomb. And also see their full sprites, come to think of it. Do you happen to recognize where this might take place? I know where it takes place. Whenever we reach the ending and Gino creates the words "the end," it turns out that he's not actually creating the letters, rather there is an overlay hiding the letters, and this animation is the overlay being sparkled away to reveal the letters. So that's actually really interesting how that is done. Okay, so that's all the sprites I wanted to show off. Let's see, these other options. HP Max restores your health to max. It does not increase your max, it does not restore your magic. Sound effects is self-explanatory. It's sound effects. Line? This will take a little bit of explaining here. If I choose that, it creates what appears to be a glitchy mess. However, watch that glitchy mess while I attack. You see how it moved around? And now that there are less enemies on screen, it went higher for a bit. Apparently, that line is supposed to be measuring how much processing power battles are using. That's kind of a weird way of displaying that, but whatever works. Then we have effect. These are animations that take place in battle. We have a placeholder effect that says now. I'm not entirely sure what that is about. There is Mallow's lightning bolt, although it doesn't stick on screen for very long. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be. There's that. Lightning bolt, Mallow's star, a flame, mute, fireball. There's Make a Koopa, which is gray instead of green. Skipping ahead, this one I thought was interesting. I think this is the pattern used for Breaker Beam. It's not animated, and we don't have Breaker Beam itself, but I think that is the pattern. And that's kind of a cool effect right there. This is definitely the pattern for Flame Wall. I'm not entirely sure what this is supposed to be. Any guesses? Oh, here we have Geno Beam, but what I find interesting about this is if we go through this, there's Geno Beam in different colors. I don't know if these were actually intended to be used, but I thought that was kind of interesting. And the last one of interest is right here. That is Smithy's whatever it was called that he smacks you with during his fight. Again, not animated, it's just the graphic for it. And the pair of zeros there don't mean anything. I can't do anything with them. Down in the corner. Okay, we have these three options here. To demonstrate these properly, I'm going to first want to save. And, I think the best explanation would be if I choose this option right here. It puts us in the Smithy fight. I don't think I'm gonna win this. And that is why I save stated. Oh, my last save point was here. Interesting that it doesn't put me in front of the toad that I saved at. Anyway, load state. So these three events take you to three specific battles. Event 1 takes you to the fight against Bowser. Event 2 takes you to the fight against Boomer right before Xer. And you saw what Event 3 takes you to. These don't actually take you to those points in the game. It just replaces this fight with the fight that I choose here. So if I go through the Bowser fight and finish that, it basically acts like I just won this fight that I am currently in. And finally we have Test. That plays the special effect when Smithy transforms in the final battle. And then the game soft locks. And that is the debug menu for battle. However, I'm still gonna have fun with the debug menu, you can bet that. So I'm here getting ready to get a star. Let me fast forward because I want to point out that if you sit here long enough, all of these canines try to converge around you. This is a good strategy if you want to get more experience points because they're all right here and you don't have to go after them. And there's another level up for Mario. For this run, I'm focusing on his special the whole time. You'll see why later. Alright, here we go. Boss fight against Croco. Gonna try to get back Mallow's coin. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a couple things here. Let's go ahead and change the background. I want to do something a little bit more different than this battle scenery. We've been on it for a bit in this episode already. So let's go ahead and change it to this. Actually, no. Let's change it to this. Why do I suddenly feel like I am playing Adventure on the Atari? Actually, if I go through this fight with this setup, it'll crash whenever Mallow tries to give one last punch to Croco. So let's actually do a different fight. Although I would definitely win. Let's, how about this fight? No, not that one. That one. We'll do the third battle of Croco. You all remember the third battle with Croco, right? I'm gonna have to put in some real effort in this, though. I win. So, there exists a third Croco battle that does not get used. He has no stats. There is also a third Belome fight that does not get used and also does not have stats. So, that's interesting. Anyway, we are sadly out of time for today. Showing off all those sprites took up a lot of it, but I hope you enjoyed that regardless. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.